Obviously, everybody wants to talk about Deshaun, and you know, when you look at him and you decided it's his time to go in, to leave him in, how did that happen on the sideline? Did Dabo come to you and say, "Hey, let's leave him in"? Did you go to Dabo and say, "We got to leave the kid in"? And how did it all happen?
Well, I think the biggest thing was it was scripted that way, that he was going to go in, and then at that point it was going to determine how he played and whether or not we had a spark, had any you know, did we feel like we had a opportunity to move the football a little bit better? And I think after watching Deshaun and watching him get out of trouble a couple of times, and being able to make some plays as he moved around in the pocket, you know, in particular the throw to Adam on their sidelines, you know, and we just kind of felt like that. Okay, he gave us a spark. Let's give him another series. And I think he goes down and we score in that next series, and it just kind of turned into, you know, we fully anticipated going back with Cole. We just didn't know. We didn't know how Deshaun was going to come out and how he was going to play. We kind of had an idea, but you know, we just kind of felt like at that point, let's run with it. Let's see how it goes. And even after coming out of halftime, you know, Coach and I were talking about it, and just still felt that you know, Deshaun gave us the best chance at that point in time, and so we ran with it, and he played well. He played really well for a true freshman to go in there.
I know you can't play the what-if game, but on his first series, there was that third down play where you missed, but the flag was the offsetting foul, so you got another shot. You think if you punt there, things might have been a little bit different? Or?
Well, you don't know. I mean, you know, it's hard to tell. I mean, it's you just don't know. You know, we felt like that you know, he gave us the best shot at that point in time, and we ran with it. And it's a feel. You know, we see them every day. We're out here every day with them in practice. I've watched every snap that both of them have taken, and I know what they can do good, and I know what you know, what one of them's deficiency is, maybe another one's strength, and so we just felt like that was what we needed at that point in time.
Chad, going forward, Deshaun starts on Saturday night. Is it another situation where Cole gets in the first half like Deshaun had done, or is it just going to be however you guys think at the time?
Well, I think that's going to be determined on how well Deshaun plays. You know, we've said it from the get-go. There's no you know, there's no lifetime contract to be a quarterback here, and I think that as we've said to this point, you know, Cole is it's not necessarily how Cole has played. Cole's played well. I know he wished that he would have had that pass back to Leggett. Now, had we completed that pass and he goes in and scores, would Cole have went back in the ball game? We don't know that. It would have been hard not to put him back in the ball game. He just threw a touchdown pass, and let's see. I mean, so but you don't know those things. But I think, you know, right now, you know, Cole earned the job coming out of spring. He earned the job coming out of fall camp. It's not really necessarily how Cole has played that's caused the situation. It's more so how Deshaun has played, and I think he's earned that. But again, you know, visiting with Cole, and you know, he's an unbelievable competitor, and his time will come back again, and he'll be ready for his time. He's going to play again, but you know, as far as at what point in time, we don't know that.
So while maybe he might be, he's obviously, I'm guessing, disappointed, he's on board with everything.
Well, you know, sure, he's a competitor. I mean, he's a competitor, and you know, you've been with a guy for 4 years, and he's poured his heart and soul into this program, and you hurt with him, you hurt for him. And, you know, I visited with him for a long time last night. He and I just sat and talked, and you know, you know, he's extremely supportive of Deshaun, but you know, obviously he wants to play, and he wanted to play the other night, but you know, my message to him is just to be ready for when your opportunity comes, because it's going to come back, and you got to be ready for that opportunity, and you know, you're going to get to play, and be ready for that opportunity, and he and I, you know, we had a chance to really talk and sit down, and you know, that's the biggest thing is you know, he is a great competitor.
You said that Deshaun has he struggled with the under center snaps.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of them here.
Well, here, yes. I mean, we've and I know where you're going, so let's just get it out there, because you asked me the other day, and I'm good, and I have nothing to hold back. It was a coaching decision. I chose not to go underneath center. 4 plays later, we get the ball inside the 2-yard line, and we snap it out of the shotgun, and we go score. Had the ball not sailed over the head, we'd never be asking this question right now. If you'd have told me, hey, the ball's going to sail over the head, I'd have said, hey, let's get underneath center. But I don't think anybody knows that. But I do know this, and this is what I do know as a coach and as a coordinator. I do know what his deficiencies have been. He hadn't played underneath center in his high school very often, if any. And I do know in short yardage situation, I'm sure you'd ask him, he'd probably tell you the same thing. As of last Thursday, we fumbled snap coming up from underneath center in a short yardage situation in a practice setting. And so that has been a deficiency for him, and that's something that we've got to work on. We've got a quarterback sneak is in our game plan. We got a quarterback sneak in our system. It wasn't, you know, like I said, you tell me, hey, we're going to snap it over his head, I'd have said, yeah, well, I'd at least taken a chance and get him underneath center and hope it doesn't happen. But so yeah, that's something we've definitely got to get better at with him. Had it been Cole, would it have been a different situation right there? I don't know. I really don't know.
We see this all over. It's just not you. We see this all over football, high school, even in the NFL.
We've scored a lot of points since I've been here.
Yeah.
And we've snapped a lot of balls and shotgun situations inside the 5-yard line. It's not going to change. We're going to be who we are. We do have to get better in some of those regards, especially in some short yardage situations. Middle of field stuff, that's a whole different ball game. But when you're in a solid up front across the, you know, that's something that he's got to get better at in being able to understand and put pressure back to what you were saying.
But the question I was trying to say is why has it changed so much? Why do coaches all across the country do that? Have a guy when you're at the 1-yard line in the shotgun? Tell me
you know, you do what you do. And that's the biggest thing. You know, Auburn, I talked to Coach Malzahn. Auburn led the country last year in rushing. They snapped the ball underneath center. And, you know, you do what you do. And, again, if we all knew the outcome, what the outcome was going to be, yeah, hey, it's always easier to second guess. But let me just, 4 plays later, inside the 2-yard line, we snap it in the gun and we go in and score. And so, you know, it's, you know, nobody wished that you know, I'm sure Ryan Norton wished he'd have got that snap back.
And speaking to Deshaun, he sounds confident that he can do it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just something he's got to continue to work on. And he could have probably done it the other night, who knows? But as a coach and knowing a player's deficiency and whether or not you trust it through the courses of the practice, I didn't trust it. I mean, to be honest with you, it never even really crossed my mind with him in there. It wasn't as if, well, let's do. No, it just really never crossed my mind because knowing what his deficiency been. But again, you can be second guessed all we want, and sure, if you'd have told me that, I'd have, you know, we'd have done something else.
Was the call quarterback power on the bad snap?
Yes. Yeah.
Did Goldman's? He was really dominating. Did that play into
the play before, where he jumped off sides? I'm talking about that one. He jumped off sides and kind of rattled Ryan a little bit, and so the next snap, Ryan kept his head down and didn't look up, and because he felt like when he raised up that he was going to jump and hit him again, and so he chose to keep his head down, and when he kept his head down and he stepped and snapped, the ball sailed on him. So.
Chad, I know.
Sure.
You know, coming into this season, we talk about this segment all the time. You start with Georgia. You knew Florida State was right around the corner, and these guys were pointed towards it for a long time. Do you worry about now that this is over and it didn't go the way you guys want, that maybe you worry about you guys kind of, I don't know, feeling sorry for themselves coming into this week, getting down because things didn't turn out right?
No, not at all. You know, as a coach and a player, you learn to live in a hole and live in a cave, and realistically, when you look back and you look at the video and you watch the film, our guys played extremely hard, extremely hard. As hard as we've played to this point. We've gotten a lot better. We've gotten better in the offensive line. We've gotten better at the wide receivers making plays, at our running backs making plays. We've gotten better, and that's all you ask for as a coach. And so, you know, our challenge this morning to our guys is we're extremely excited about the way that you played. We got to find a way to win. Okay, we've got to be able. There's about 6 things that went wrong, and you just take and let's just get one of the 6 things right. We win the ball game. Let's say you make a kick. Let's say we make the first kick. We win the ball game. Let's say, hey, we still snap it over the head. The effort that we played with didn't change. The only thing that changed is the way we feel right now. And we've still got corrections we got to do, but our guys gave unbelievable effort. Very proud of their effort. I knew and I knew after the game Saturday night of how hard they played. But until you come back and you really break down and watch the film, our guys played exceptionally well. And yeah, we made some mistakes. We got to get better in some areas. We got to coach a little harder. We got to play a little bit harder. We got to create a few of those opportunities and find a way to win. But to go down there in that environment against a very, very, very good defense, and to have the success that we've had, and I felt like we should have scored 31 points.